forward with the lease at the earliest date possible. According to the recent study completed by the Old Dominion University, the development of Virginia's offshore energy resources could produce 25,000 new jobs, $8 billion in capital investments, $644 million in taxable wages, $271 million in state and local tax revenue, and $160 million a year in royalty payments to Virginia. And you can imagine what that will do to our economy in these crises that we're currently in. We also need these jobs, and we need this money to help address important needs in our state, like the improvement of the quality of education opportunities we provide to our children and building the transportation system for the 21st century. McDonnell and Bolling are committed to making Virginia the nation's energy leader in each of these areas because we understand that the more energy we have, the more jobs are for Virginians. Second is the development of new alternative and renewable forms of energy in Virginia. Just this year, legislation was passed to streamline the regulatory process for the construction and operation of small energy projects. This legislation will help speed up the permitting process for projects we used as a model.
We need to do it. I should say I've invested in my personal life. I've been developing one of the first wind farms in the world. I have built 3 biodiesel facilities and biomass facilities myself. So this is something I've done in my private life. And I want to bring those skills, obviously, to the job as governor. Your next governor has got to create more revenue in order to jumpstart our economy here in Virginia. I want to put more money in education. I want to lower college tuition for you. One thing we don't do is we don't do a very good job of patenting, commercializing our patents at our great universities and research facilities here. All the other neighboring states, Maryland, North Carolina, they do it every single day. We don't do it. Florida has done $580 million worth of investments in patents at their universities. It's not that their technology and research is any better than ours. We just don't do it here. We're not able to streamline that process. As governor, I want to fix that. Half the money would go toward college fee reduction. The other half would go into the STEM fields for science and technology, engineering, and math, in order so we can continue to build what I consider absolutely critical as a workforce for the future. So my job as governor is to create jobs. I want to create them with green jobs, alternative energy. I believe we ought to be building wind farms. I say this every day. I know we're looking at some here. We ought to be building them off the coast of Virginia Beach. You go out there relatively 100-foot depth. We're north of the hurricanes. We have constant wind. We literally could power 1 million homes if we built some wind farms. I had new ads on television. I went way out in the ocean and talked about this is the future here for Virginia. But we're not doing it. As you know, I'm a little back and forth with Dominion. I'm the only candidate to ever say I won't take a check from Dominion Power. I'm the only candidate that's ever done it, and you know, it's not a partisan political move. It's I can't create alternative energy jobs unless I have a mandatory renewable energy standard. Ours is voluntary here in Virginia. 28 states have a mandatory standard. Without a mandatory standard, we cannot bring the investment. The investment is going to go to those 28 other states. President Obama has committed $178 billion for these jobs. We need to make sure that we're getting those jobs here. We're not going to get it with a voluntary standard, which is what we have here today. So this is something very important to me. I need that mandatory standard. Tennessee the other day just announced $1 billion investment from a German company to build the hydro-pure crystals for solar panels. We didn't even bid on that project. Arkansas just won for $1 billion investment from a Dutch company to begin to build wind towers and blades and turbines. We didn't even bid on it. So the alternative energy fields are going to other states. They're aggressively being sought after. We're not doing it. So need a mandatory renewable energy standard. I think it's probably the most important thing. I wanted within my first month put that first pole out in the ocean to begin to put our first tower. I also called for high-speed rail. I called for high-speed rail from day one. President Obama has just committed $9.3 billion to high-speed rail. We should build it from Union Station to Richmond to Hampton Roads. We got to get the cars off the road, stop the CO2 emission. We'd create 176,000 jobs. 1,000,001 cars off the road. These are the things I think we need to be focused on as government. That's what I want to do every single day. Green jobs, alternative energy, because I want to put more money in education. You are the workforce of the future. I know how to create jobs. I'm the only candidate running who has created thousands of them. I know how to do it. I need the tools to do it, but I want to put money in education. I want to put money in healthcare, and I want to put money in transportation. And that's why I'm running for governor. I want to help people, and I think that the way to the future is through alternative energy and green jobs. As governor, I'll make us #1 on alternative energy and green jobs. I will fight every day. I will call President Obama every 5 minutes, tell him I have some new project in Virginia. I don't want my fair share. I want more than my fair share as governor. And that's what you need to govern. So I'm glad to take questions and open it up to the students.
Sir, my name is Harrison. I'm a Napoleon Hill Scholar here at UAS.
What year?
I'm a sophomore. With the policy to drive alternative fuel sources to reduce carbon emissions and to begin to comply with new international climate treaty, what ideas do you propose to ease the economic transition burden in the region of the state that has supplied fuel for Virginia's energy needs for more than a century via coal? In other words, how do you endeavor to transform coal miners into diversified energy workers of the future?
Yeah, great question. And that's what we should be focused on. We get 50% of our electricity today is generated by coal. There's a lot of investment being made. As you know, President Obama has just committed up to $10 billion for the carbon sequestration. We'll see where it goes. He's put a lot of money into that. I've talked to a couple of you privately are looking at different technologies. We'll see where we go on coal. But I believe the future is what I talk about on alternative energy. If we can provide the electricity for 1 million homes by building wind farms, we should be doing that every single day. Why are we one of the few states that does not offer one single tax incentive for a homeowner to put a solar panel on the roof? That's crazy. We should allow tax credits for solar. Biomass, biodiesel. Virginia Tech has developed some great technology. People laugh at me all the time because I talk about chicken waste every day. I get excited about chicken waste. We have 500,000 tons of it here in Virginia. We've got 898 poultry farms. What happens today? It leaches into our watersheds in the Chesapeake. That's why we're not producing any more oysters in the Chesapeake. We've killed a lot of what goes on in the Chesapeake. We've got to end that. We can literally take chicken waste or lumber or anything. We can literally convert that into energy. That much chicken waste could convert into 40 megawatts of power, which could light up 40,000 homes. That, I think, is the way to the future. These are what I call sustainable jobs for the next 50 or 100 years. So we need job training. We need folks who work in the coal industry today to make sure they're up on the latest technologies. And those who can come up with the most sophisticated technologies as it relates to coal, we're going to create thousands of jobs if we can capture that market. We all know that China is building a new coal plant every 8 days. That's just a plain fact. So we better start working on the technologies to make sure we can get as clean as coal as possible, those technologies, because people are going to point them. China is not going to stop building these coal facilities. So if we can come up with technology so that people in the coal business today, we should be investing, research, technology, and doing job training to flip that over. I just soon have some of the folks working in the coal fields begin to build towers and blades and turbines for wind farms. Look what's happening in Texas. I had a long chat with T. Boone Pickens the other day. Known T. Boone for years. Here's Texas. They have more oil than any other state in the country, and yet they've developed more wind energy than anyone else. They get it. Here we are. We've got the